Hello, my friend. I want to make a video about the current Ukraine and the Russian war. Okay, Ukraine and the Russian war has been going on for 2 years. Against all the hopes of Western media and Western politicians, the war is not going in the favor of Ukraine side. Instead, Russia is making progress. Recently, Russian defense line has proved unbreakable. Ukraine has suffered significant loss in their counter-offensive, and this rate of loss is not sustainable. 2 months into the counter-offensive, they haven't even reached the first defense line yet. And I would say this war has proved a very important point, that is the invincibility myth of the advanced Western weapon is completely crushed. There's no so-called invincibility as far as Western military equipment is concerned. For example, the Patriot anti-missile system was destroyed by the Russian missile. In fact, it was Russian missile supposed to be the target to be intercepted by the Patriot system. However, what we can see is that it is the Russian missile completely destroyed Patriot system. And now let's come to those armored vehicle tanks, Leopard 2 or Bradley. One by one, they were destroyed on the battlefield by K-52 or anti-tank mine, or even by the Lancet, the famous Lloyd weapon. So before those Leopard 2 were commissioned into combat, it is widely accepted or estimated that one Leopard 2 is able to counter 2 or 3 Russian tanks like T-72, or even 10 by some Western so-called Western military expert. They are so convinced for how advanced their weapon is, how effective it will be. In fact, they are proved useless on the battlefield. Simple anti-tank mine can undermine those tanks. And as for the Bradley armored vehicle, which was supplied by the United States, they are even worse. Lots of them don't get a chance even to reach to the front line and were intercepted and destroyed by the K-52 attack helicopter. Yeah, so as we can see, their weapons are not so advanced or not so effective as they claim to be. Why? It is because in the past, in the Gulf War, in the Kosovo War, Western countries overwhelmed their opponents by what I call it's not on the same level ground. like former Yugoslavia or Iraq, they are not so-called heavy duty or so-called in terms of boxing, maybe they are the feather level against heavyweight. So it's not an equal match, but when they are fighting with, it's a proxy war. It is NATO and the United States, they're fighting a proxy war with Russia. However, Russia is no Yugoslavia or Iraq. It is a heavyweight. It is a heavyweight opponent. And so on this, more or less, they are fighting more or less on equal ground. And this proved deadly for the West side. They no longer can overwhelm their opponent on the other side. Or contrary to that, they suffered heavy loss. They have to endure overwhelming artillery barrage from Russian side almost every day. And 2 years into the war, and the West is still not able to make enough 152 millimeter shells for Ukraine to counter the artillery advantage on of the Russian side. 2 years, they cannot do anything. The productivity, the lack of productivity on the Western side is, I didn't anticipate those NATO countries is so incapable of making up for whatever is in short of in this Ukraine war. Ukraine, since day one, they are short of 152 millimeter shells, and they are short of field anti-air missile system, and for 2 years, despite the huge number of the assistance given to the Ukraine side, I can see the anti-aircraft, the system, the capability on the Ukraine side is considerably weakened. And that is why in the past 2 or 3 months, Russian Air Force lost very few airplanes or helicopters as a result of those Ukraine anti-air missile system. Is not able to protect their force on the front line. So Russian Air Force making significant achievement in the past few months with very little loss of planes and pilots. There is a rumor, it is maybe the West is preparing to send some F-16 jets to Ukraine. I'm very excited about this news. I would like to see how F-16 can perform on a battlefield like this with so many advanced anti-airplane missile system in possession by Russia, like S-300, S-400. Those are very capable systems. I would like to see what is the odds that this F-16 is against. I don't think it will make any difference. Just like those what they call those anti-tank missile, the personal carry, the anti-tank missile system provided by the UK and the United States. They are not so effective. We don't see much. There were lost of tanks from Russian tanks lost due to this, but it's not a big number. I think the majority of the armored vehicle or tank lost by the Russian side is due to lack of maintenance or lack of logistic support. Simply running out of fuel, they have to abandon that. And most of them happens during the beginning of the war in early 2022. We saw very few loss in 2023. Yeah. So all this myths about advanced Western weapons is all but a lie, all but I would say a dream. Those who receive it thought they will provide deterrence or provide protections. However, it's naive to think that it is only the NATO country or the United States is capable of producing good weapons. Soviet and now Russia and China are capable of producing weapons of same quality or if not better. And they are proved on the battlefield. For example, China can make very, very effective and advanced drone, attack drones. And the China-made drones, those drones, are very successful in the Middle East. Those Middle East country purchased large quantity of China-made weapons and the drones, and they use it to fight against like the drones made by Turkey, like TB2, and I would say from the past result, TB2 doesn't stand a chance. So now the United States is again trying to bully Niger, trying to threatening military intervention. Military intervention if the Niger military coup leader does not bow down to the demand made by the United States, basically have to surrender everything what they gain in the coup, restore the same corrupted government, just a copy of the West. No, I don't think they will give up. Let's see. It's going to be interesting in Nigeria.